Hello viewers and welcome to Minecraft. In this video I'll be elaborating on my previous video, which was non-recessed lighting. So just to quickly recap, this is what I originally came up with. This system is used to control a specific block in a ceiling, and the idea is that this piston lifts a block out, it gets replaced by a glowstone block, it gets pushed back in, and then you have your non-recessed lighting. I'll show you just how that looks from up here. So the glowstone block gets put into place. I'll show you from underneath. It's the glowstone block, the button's over here, press it, wood. So you've got on and off lighting, very basic, no messing about. The problem was scalability seemed to be an issue. I mean, there's only so many of these elements you can fit into an area, which I also showed in my last video. I had 4 in, I would estimate, 30-40 block area. So definitely scalability was what I wanted to sort out next. So I came up with a few ideas. This is one of those ideas, and it's just 2 rows, same thing. This is not the maximum amount pistons can push, so it's not limited at the moment by pistons actual pushing distance. I think you could fit an extra block, but this, for all intensive purposes, is the amount of sticky pistons you can reasonably expect one row to be able to manage. I've used 2 rows here, and this is the control line. As long as this line gets powered, everything works as normal. So I'll show you that now, and that works fine. I mean, I'll show you from underneath as well. That works just fine. So I still wasn't happy. I figured if there's one thing I wanted to sort out, it was the fact that I don't like the idea of having rows, because when it comes to expanding, you want another row. It's very, very difficult to feed input from something such as a button press into another row and have it operate with the same timing. So I came up with a few ideas, and ultimately I arrived at the idea which I'm going to be discussing with you over the next few minutes. Oh, we can ignore that guy. Basically, this is my roof, and if I click this button, bam, lots of light, enough to stop things like this guy spawning. This is quite unfortunate. I did clear the room first, but I guess I should have left the lights on. No problems. But you can see that this is a very respectable solution in terms of size and space. So you might notice the torches in the corner. That's purely just so that the video, when it's encoding, it doesn't go groggy and you'll be able to at least see the ceiling, even though it's pretty dark. So I'll show you once again, and then I'll take up top and we can see up there, see how it works. Right, brace yourselves. This is quite, well, this is the output of about a month of work. I mean, I'm definitely no redstone expert. I don't understand it as well as I would like. However, I am quite proud of this. It does work well, and it works consistently, more to the point. This is just another button I can use to toggle it from IPS, just so you can see the sort of scale we're talking about. So you see each of the rows, only one side of pistons will ever fire. So I'll just do it again, just so if you watch the left side of pistons now, all of these rows get fired in order, and that moves the row across. Now, the main difference between this setup and the previous setups I've shown is that these are basically dumb rows. These pistons there's no logic behind them. They're only told to fire. The actual controlling unit is this piece here. This is basically the element of one recessed lighting switch. So if I just go back down here, it is basically this, except it doesn't have the sticky piston on top because it's unnecessary. This just sorts output. Only one of the sides of this contraption is ever meant to fire. So this redstone charge gets carried over, and then it sorts. There's a block here, so this diode will trigger, It will power this diode, which powers the rest of the loop, and all of these, which pushes all the rows across. It also pushes this piston so that this block will get occupied, as I'll now demonstrate. So the next time the button is pushed, only this diode will fire. This one will not, because there's no block to carry the current. So the next time I use this contraption, only the left side of pistons will fire. In conjunction with this, I also needed a way to control the sticky pistons and when they're up and when they're down. This is the simplest way of doing it. Granted, it is quite resource heavy, but it is definitely the simplest way of doing things. So I'll just show you that now. These get turned off, the charge gets carried through each block. In this case they're always on, so it would just be a case of these blocks actually being unpowered when this is, let's talk about this block for example, this wood block. When this doesn't have a charge, these two pistons on the side retract, provided of course that this block is also off. So each block is responsible for powering at maximum 2 pistons, at minimum 1, but it's a guaranteed method of being able to lift all of the pistons at the specific time and in time with the pistons that are managing the rows. So I'll just show you again. As you can see, it works well every time, and the best bit is, because this is the control node will never break. It's impossible. And if it does, for example, if I don't press the button too heavily, I don't think I'll be able to actually do it now, but sometimes you press a button, the charge isn't quite as long as it takes, and stuff doesn't work properly. In that case, these pistons will retract, the rows won't change, and it will put the previous block back in place. However, pressing the button again, it will always use this control node. So the one side will always fire correctly, and these blocks, even if I took all of the wood out of these rows and replaced it with glowstone and replaced the glowstone with wood, so I'd mess up a row, eventually, after about 2 button presses, it resolves itself. So this is completely unbreakable, and it always works. I've not had a single case where it's pushed a wrong block or hasn't worked for an initial row. I mean, the timings are quite specific, but other than that, it's fine. So yeah, this is my brainchild. I am quite proud. The one thing I would like to sort out is perhaps a better control system. I think this is probably as small as it's going to get. There are some issues with timing when I try and use less diodes, but that is just something you have to deal with. The only problem I have, well, the only problem I assume there would be is this at the moment is actually overhanging a building, so you can't discreetly fit this kind of system into, for example, a normal roof. That is something that I would like to resolve in the future, and of course I will keep working on. But aside from that, that is my lighting. I will find some sort of distribution method for you all. For example, I might post a Minecraft schematic or a world file. If I decide to rebuild it in single player, I can post the world, but that is yet to be decided. The other thing I would like to show is my definitive 2x2 door. This is overdone by other people. Everyone seems to have their own working version of a 2x2 door. I mean, this is just a very basic setup, just a lever here, controls the whole thing. What I didn't like is the fact that, one, if you hook up 2 buttons and someone finds the button on the outside, they can always get in. That is something I wanted to combat. And also the fact that normally people would use levers and XOR gates to control, which I thought was a bit finicky. So this is what I came up with. This is my control gate. It's definitely over-engineered, and it could probably be done with something as simple as a T-flip gate, something very compact. I know there are many better ways to do it, but this is what I came up with. This is about 4 weeks old, just to give you an idea. And yeah, I'll just turn the lock off because that was stayed on. This is basically the same element from the recessed lighting, so it just takes the output from 2 different sides with some minor adjustments, mostly in timing. I'll just show you an example. So that fires, changes the output. This is just an XOR gate. Actually no, it's an RS NOR latch, which is a basic memory cell, and I'm just using this line here just to show output so we can view it from here. So I press button, this light should go out, as it does, and then press it again, the light will come back on. So this would be your output, and then I came up with this locking system. I like the locking system. So when you push the locking system, this contraption gets broken. It doesn't push any redstone out of the way, it doesn't break anything, although theoretically it is breaking the contraption so that it doesn't work. So you can see this light's on. Normally it would go off, it hasn't, because the contraption is broken. Turn this off, contraption is pushed back into place, and the light goes off. So I built this under a cave. I implemented it with the 2x2 gate, so I'll show you that now. Very basic building, just something I threw together just so I could, well, it was mostly about the entrance. As you can see, we've got the lock door here, the toggle door button here. So if I toggle the door, it is a little delayed. That is something that I can't really resolve because of just the different levels in use. So I'll toggle it again. Door's open. Lock the door. Of course, you wouldn't normally lock the door with the doors open. You would close the doors, and then you would lock them. And of course I have a button outside. I'll lock the door just to give a demonstration that it works with other buttons as well. I put the button up here. It's not hidden or anything, but normally of course these doors would be closed, locked from the inside, and as you can see the button does nothing. That's basically it. I could try and explain some of this, but this is just my collective experimentation. There's a few things over there as well. I've got plenty to show, but unfortunately not a lot of time to show them in. That is pretty much it. So yeah. Like I said, I will try and get a post of some sort of schematic file so you can import this into your own world, or some sort of world file itself. And as you can see, that actually just failed once there. But like I said, after 2 button presses, if it does fail for whatever reason, it will fix itself. So we'll go back in, just have one last look. The only other thing I'd like to show you is an idea I've been working on, which is non-recessed floor lighting. So if you have a long hallway, you'll be able to use something along the lines of this. This is much faster actually than I imagined, but it's the same basic principle. Sticky piston poles, row gets pushed, rinse and repeat. This is something I'll be working on a larger scale. I want to be able to make modules that I can push into some sort of hallway. So for example, I'd have walls, something like that, and then as you're walking along it lights up the corridor, something like that. Have redstone torches on the walls, just a basic light, you know, just sort of a creepy entrance. That's something I'm interested in working on, and I will be doing over the next few weeks. But aside from that, that is everything. As I mentioned in my last video, we are looking for new members for the server. We have a lot of slots to fill, and we have many members who have already been building their things. This is my old home, you may have seen it. Someone unfortunately has mushroomed it, but no worries. We have many towns, many villages, many different things to see, many different things to do, and we're always happy to have new members. So if you could look in the description, find the information for that. I will post that, I'll make sure to post that. We'll be happy to have you. Just join up, ask for some help if you need it, otherwise just start building, have fun. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you've got any specific requests you'd like me to fill in regards to redstone contraptions or otherwise, actually, I'm always happy to take suggestions, so leave a comment. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I hope that you all find this very, very helpful and very useful. Bye.